We need to move away from just diagnostics. Yes, it's so important to know what's going on with your horse, but how many of you know, or if you had a diagnosis and you know or have seen that it's not just that one area that's the problem? The body, our bodies, our horses' bodies moves as one. Why is it that you can spend £8,000 on diagnostics and still have a lame horse? Owners are left with no plan, no direction, and only a huge hole in their bank account. This has to change. This week, I've been to Liverpool, I've been to the Lake District, I've been back to Leeds, and I hear the same stories over and over again. Owners spending thousands of pounds on nerve block, x-rays, bone scans, you name it, but they still have a lame horse. And the worst thing about it, besides the lame horse, is they have no plan, they have no direction. The owner is left Googling at 2 a.m, Facebook groups, trying to figure out what is going on with their horse, and yet they've maxed out their insurance. Our industry has normalized this. As long as the vet doesn't see anything majorly wrong, then the owner is left to either have some medication or rest and wait. Wait for what? What's going to magically change? That's not a plan. That's passing the buck. And it's definitely not good for the rider and, most importantly, the horse. So if there is a diagnosed pathology in one area of the body, it is going to be affecting the entire system. Why are we not treating that way? Why are we not, as an industry, coming together and working as a team? One that looks at the whole horse, the management, the nutrition, everything that goes into helping that horse. And then, this might upset you, but the rider's skill set, the rider's posture, the rider's weight, I'm going to say it, the rider's health. Because we don't ride the x-ray, we ride the body of the horse. No scan, no vet, no practitioner can tell you how that horse is feeling, or how these daily habits and patterns of compensation are affecting its lameness, its body, its nervous system. This week I saw a beautiful young horse, 4 years old. Since I've last seen her, which was 2 years ago, she has been to the vet, has had £8,000 spent on her. The horse is still uncomfortable, still lame, and the owner is left frustrated with a maxed out bill of £8,000. I was called in and the owner said, Nika, I just want to know a plan. I just want to know what to do with my horse. And I really felt for her, because as owners, we do everything we can financially, emotionally to help our animals. Vets are trying their best as well. I'm definitely not shaming anyone here. I'm calling everyone out. I'm calling myself out. As a collective, as a team, for the benefit of the animal, but also our mental health, we need to come together. There is no such thing as a pathology that can't affect the entire body. I'm sure you know yourself, if you've ever sprained an ankle, what effect that has on your knee, on your hip, on your lower back, God, on your shoulder. How many of us have slept on a pillow that we then have neck pain, we have back pain, jaw pain? It's so connected. And then the worst thing is, no one is then looking at the rider and going, okay, if this is what the horse is presenting with, and say you are working as a team and you are seeing the horse as a whole, and you are putting together that if this area has the pathology, then all the compensations around the body will be compromised, what about the rider? Because how many riders do you know take full responsibility for their health? And I don't just mean someone that has the awareness, because I see a lot of riders saying, Nika, I'm starting to notice that I don't have the strength anymore. I've noticed after having children that I'm a little bit more anxious within myself and I second guess things. I can see this. I can see the shift in the industry, which makes me extremely happy. But then nothing happens with it, because a lot of riders are saying things like, I haven't got time. I'm too busy. I haven't got the money. All the money goes on the horse. But they're spending £4,000 on a saddle. Where did the £4,000 come from? You will find the money because your horse is involved. What about your own health? I have had many lessons myself where the lessons have been for me, not the horse. And I've had these magical moments where I'll ride a horse, I know what's going on in their body because I've worked with them for a while and I've ridden them for a while. So I almost get on, and I know I'm not alone here, but I almost ride the horse of yesterday, or the horse that I know its weaknesses and its issues and its stiffnesses from the last few months. What about my own? And when you have these lessons with instructors and talented individuals that say, hang on a minute, Nika, how about your left hip? Let's try this exercise off the horse to improve your hip mobility. Let's improve that lower back spasm before we get on the horse and expect our horse to be so loose, so supple, be able to bend left and right. Now, I'm obviously being a bit playful with what I'm saying, because if you're watching this and you're still watching it now, you resonate with what I'm saying. And if you haven't already, don't forget to give me a follow and subscribe. When I was on this horse and I worked on my left hip before I got on, then we did some exercises without stirrups, a lost art. I remember growing up as a child riding bareback so many weeks and having lessons with no stirrups to improve my balance. Where does that happen? It doesn't happen anymore. What I'm trying to say is the horse felt so different when I worked on myself that it really made me realize, imagine if all riders, because you know your weaknesses, I know mine, no one's perfect and no one's telling you to be perfect. But how much time, money, effort, stress, emotional stress we would save by taking responsibility for our own health. By actually saying, okay, today, take it one step further, I know my period is due next week. I'm a little bit more irritable. I know that I've got these changes going on and I just don't feel myself. Taking responsibility before I reach my horse and saying, do you know what? I'm not the same rider as I was last week, so I'm going to do some groundwork instead. Try it. I promise you, you will have not only a better session, your horse will have a much deeper respect, understanding for you, because horses are so in tune with their body. They don't speak English. I know you know that. But they speak and communicate with their body and energy. And they know when you're not yourself. They know when something's off. They know when you're feeling a bit of pain, whether that is emotional pain, whether that's body pain, spiritual pain, whatever pain it is, the horses read that. And if you bring that to your session with your horse without taking responsibility and so showing yourself some self-compassion, how can you expect your horse to be moving well, to be supple, to be soft when you're carrying the stress? Press pause and just think about that. If you're someone who's been through similar stories, money pit, diagnostics after diagnostics with no definitive clear plan, I would love to know. Comment below, let me know. If you want to join a safe group, I have a free group called the Female Rider Code. In that group, I help with rider wellness, both mentally and physically, but also showing you simple and effective exercises to help better understand your horse. The link for this group is in the description down below.